Okay, so four of you guys, Pancho, Chiquita, Bebelos, Chinese. One question for you all. Does grammar matter?
Yes,
Why?
I guess.
You guess. Okay. So no, you don't know. You know or you guess?
I know grammar matters. It's like in Spanish. I I think it matters.
And period. Okay? And
Period.
just because great Brenda Veloz thinks that it matters, it doesn't matter what linguists say, what all just because you do okay, good. The
I
rest?
better keep quiet then.
No, come on. The rest? Grammar
Mm,
matters, yes or no?
yeah, because it helps to understand the correct message.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Quick test.
You're telling a friend an amazing story, and you just get to the best part when suddenly he interrupts. The alien and I, not me and the alien. Most of us would probably be annoyed, but aside from the rude interruption, does your friend have a point? Was your sentence actually grammatically incorrect? And if he still understood it, why does it even matter? From the point of view of linguistics, grammar is a set of patterns for how words are put together to form phrases or clauses, whether spoken or in writing. Different
Chinese, define grammar, please.
But, pardon?
Define grammar. Tell me what grammar means.
Is
It's here in the screen.
a set of patterns for how words are put together to form phrases or clauses, whether spoken or in writing.
Okay. Do you agree with that definition?
Yep.
Okay, good to know. You agree with Oxford University. Like Pancho, you feel strong today.
languages have different patterns. In English, the subject normally comes first, followed by the verb and then the object.
Pancho, read the sentence.
John kicked the ball.
Kicked.
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 Okay. The subject is John. What is the subject?
The person or the someone who do the action.
Exactly. What is the verb?
The action or the activity or
Okay. And what is the object?
a complement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are a lot of definitions, but
Now, the most important thing of the definition of an object is as you said before, the thing or person who receives the action. Okay?
While in Japanese and many other languages, the order is subject, object, verb.
Did you know this, Chiquita?
No, I didn't.
Read the sentence as if you were a Japanese girl. Come on. The boy.
The boy, the ball kicked.
The boy kicked. Sarakutonata anata saitiki. Okay?
Solo sé decir shishi, que es thank you in Chinese.
And that's Chinese. This is Japanese. Okay? But the good thing about this is that you complain about learning English, and we have a very similar structure from Spanish to English. Problem for these guys. They have to change even the way they think.
Some scholars have tried to identify patterns common to all languages. But apart from some basic features, like having nouns or verbs, few of these so-called linguistic universals have been found. And while any language needs consistent patterns to function, the study of these patterns opens up an ongoing debate between two positions known as prescriptivism and descriptivism. Grossly simplified, prescriptivists think a given language should follow consistent rules, while descriptivists see variation and adaptation as a natural and necessary part of language. For much
Difference between prescriptivism and descriptivism. First, say the word. Hey,
Like repeat the words?
yeah.
Or what? Prescriptivism, descriptivism.
It's not easy.
Prescriptivism.
Prescriptivism, descriptivism.
Mm-hmm. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
But
The first one is something, how do you say? It's gay. The first one is something gate, or how do you say given? Something given.
mm-hmm. Something prescriptive.
Okay. And the other is something descriptive.
Good. Good, Pancho. You're blowing my mind today.
of history, the vast majority of language was spoken. But as people became more interconnected and writing,
Did you know that? That written language wasn't common in the beginning? It makes sense, right? Before there were only tribes, so you only communicated with the people in your tribe. You didn't need to write messages. But then you have to give messages to people in another tribe or part of the world. And that's how written language became very important, right?
gained importance, written language was standardized to allow broader communication and ensure that people in different parts of a realm could understand each other. In many languages, this standard form came to be considered the only proper one, despite being derived from just one of many spoken varieties, usually that of the people in power. Language purists worked to establish and propagate this standard by detailing a set of rules that reflected the established grammar of their times. And rules for written grammar were applied to spoken language as well. Speech patterns that deviated from the written rules were considered corruptions or signs of low social status.
Important. The social part comes again, right? Before, speaking proper was referred as to people who had more money or more education, right? I commit a mistake when I made this sentence on purpose. What was the mistake?
I made a mistake.
I made a mistake when I was explaining. So high status people could speak proper when low status people couldn't. No mistake? Properly, the adverb, not proper.
And many people who had grown up speaking in these ways were forced to adopt the standardized form. More recently, however, linguists have understood that speech is a separate phenomenon from writing, with its own regularities and patterns.
Now they have discovered that speaking is totally different to writing, right? Where the same rules must apply, different variations may come, like contractions, right? Do we have contractions in Spanish?
Yes.
Which one?
La could be sa huevo.
No, that is slang. Okay.
Okay. It's the same subway.
No.
When you're writing a text.
A valid contraction could be del,
Okay.
la casa del ingeniero.
Okay, valid. Okay, not in a takey way.
Do you understand this contraction? La casa del ingeniero. En vez de decir de el ingeniero, contraes y dices del ingeniero.
Another could be para la instead of pa la casa. Vamos para la casa. Para la casa.
Para la casa no es una contracción.
But I think it's the same mistake that my mistake. It's in a
It's not valid.
proper way. It's not in a.
It's not valid. Para la casa is slang. Is what we say.
Pal.
Palchante.
Palchante, para lo que quieras. Pa lo que quieras, lo acabo de decir. En vez de decir para, decir pa es informal, no es una contracción.
Could be al.
Sorry?
No, al.
Al, ¿es correcto?
Most
Y al es la contracción de. A
él.
No, a él. En vez de decir vamos a el pueblo, vamos al pueblo. Hi, baby.
Most of us learn to speak at such an early age that we don't even remember it. We form our spoken repertoire through unconscious habits, not memorized rules. And because speech also uses mood and intonation for meaning, its structure.
Pronounce these two different highs, please.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
You see? Intonation is very important. Okay, when you text a message and you say hi, it's the same, right? But when you speak and you say, hi, how are you? Then you say, hi, how are you? It's totally different, right? Something that men are not receptive to. We receive the message as the text. Hi, pues hi. I was upset and you didn't notice. Pues no, you didn't tell me.
Is often more flexible, adapting to the needs of speakers and listeners. This could mean avoiding. This could mean.
Brenda, read this sentence, please.
The Caesar was an important leader. I don't see it anymore. Oh yeah, the Caesar was an important leader. Was clear to us all.
Okay, that at the beginning. That I don't know if.
Why am?
Yeah, it says that Caesar was an important leader. Was clear to us all. Okay.
Mean avoiding complex
Yeah,
clauses
yeah.
that are hard to.
Now try it again.
Me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's another sentence, right?
It's the same sentence.
It was clear to us. It was clear to us all that Caesar was an important leader.
Okay. So, grammar matters. The first sentence was it wasn't incorrect, but it wasn't very understandable, right? And now it's very clear. It was clear to us all that Caesar was an important leader.
Parse in real time, making changes to avoid awkward pronunciation, or removing sounds to make speech faster. The linguistic approach that tries to understand understand and map such differences without dictating correct ones is known as descriptivism. Rather than deciding how language should be used, it describes how people actually use it and tracks the innovations they come up with in the process. But while the debate between prescriptivism and descriptivism continues, the two are not mutually exclusive.
Okay, now you understand the difference between descriptivism and prescriptivism? Prescriptivism adheres to a certain kind of rules, and they say this is only the correct form. But descriptivism analyzes how you use words, and they describe these new use and innovations. For example, the word Google as a noun, but then used as a verb. Google it. Okay? What do you prefer, prescriptivism or descriptivism?
It could be easier descriptivism because you cannot to stick to the rules.
Okay, that's good. If we only focus on descriptivism, things like aiga, things like pa la casa, things like that will be normally accepted. Things like the freaking absurd, idiotic, inclusive language will be just accepted when there are devices to do that. So I do believe a combination of both must always be considered. But we are not linguists here. No somos lingüistas aquí. Pues nos vale pepino. El descriptivism and prescriptivism is not for us.
At its best, prescriptivism is useful for informing people about the most common established patterns at a given point in time. This is important not only for formal contexts, but it also makes communication easier between non-native speakers from different.
These two uses, very important, right? Prescriptivism helps you standardize. And when you standardize, you can use it in formal contexts. And, for example, for you guys, imagine that I'm teaching you the rules, and then you arrive to a country where they speak English, and they don't speak properly, and you understand nothing, right? Like, for example, in Mexico, I am sure that any person who has studied Spanish, standard Spanish, would come to Mexico City and find hell to understand us. Es que luego vino ese culé y me dijo que el tambo que tenía, que no, pero lo metieron al tambo. Y después, you see, it's totally different. So, standard English and prescriptivism helps you do this or accomplish this properly.
Backgrounds. Descriptivism, on the other hand, gives us insight into how our minds work and the instinctive ways in which we structure our view of the world. Ultimately, grammar is best thought of as a set of linguistic habits that are constantly being negotiated and reinvented by the entire group of language users. Like language itself, it's a wonderful and complex fabric woven through the contributions of speakers and listeners, writers and readers, prescriptivists and descriptivists from both near and far.
Okay. But teacher, why the fuck are we watching all of this? Of course, because you have to work. I'm going to send you a book, but I want you to focus on this. Oxford Practice Grammar. Well, as you can see in the content, there is direct and indirect objects, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, review of the past simple, continuous, and perfect, used to, la la la, so do I, neither do I, there is a big table of contents, right? Review of conditionals. But what we're going to do is, okay, what is a direct and an indirect object? Do you know?
I don't remember, Professor.
Okay. The direct, as we saw in the exercise or in the example that you explained, Pancho, the object is the thing or person that receives the action. Okay? So I'm going to say one. Chinese gave me a piece of cake in her house. Okay? The direct object is me because she gave me the piece of cake. But the indirect object is in the house because it gives more information about where the action and the object were given. Okay? Let's see. Example, structure 1, subject. Chinese, Rafael gave.
Kiki a watch.
Exactly. Okay. The indirect object was Kiki because she received the watch. Okay.
Okay.
Then the second structure, Chinese.
Rafael gave a watch to Kiki.
Okay. That's the question you have to ask when you are determining if it's a direct or indirect object.
What?
Gave,
Who?
exactly. What? What gave this person? What is connected to the verb, right? Directly. And then the other. Okay. Okay. Let me find it. Chinese.
Okay, have you ever given flowers to anyone?
Yes.
I have
For you.
My mom flowers. I have given
Exactly. Exactly. Very good. So for you, it's correct. You have given flowers and you gave flowers to your mom, right? Pancho.
Sorry. Do you owe anyone money at the moment? Yes, I think yes. In an emergency or something, I owe from my aunt some money.
Okay,
from my mom some money.
My aunt some money. Okay, very good. Chiquita.
Oh. Are you going to send an email or text message today? To send.
Acuérdate que la bolita es indirect. La bolita es direct y el cuadradito es indirect.
I'm going to send Oscar a message.
Oscar a message. Okay, very good. Bren.
Have you ever chosen a book or CD or clothes for someone else? I once chose a CD for a friend.
Okay, very good. I'm going to send you this book. Well, not especially this book. I'm going to look for a better one. But I want you to use it as a review. I know that most of you understand and see the aspects of language or grammar as something you can do. And you know, there are two approaches to teaching grammar. One of them is explicit. So it's a direct translation of grammar to you. And the other one is it's really implicit from a discovery point of view. And
Okay.
I want to finish the lesson with a video that I love. And I think maybe you have seen it, but it's very related to this class. So I give you Stephen Fry.
No.
Okay, I think I played it in one of the lessons, but now it makes more sense, right? He's a very descriptive linguist. So that's why he focuses a lot on being open to any opportunity to change language. So yeah, but I have a phrase for that. First, okay, he can break the rules because he knows them. So learn the rules and then play better. Okay, because if you do it now, it's because you don't know them, not because you don't want to use them. So it's very important. Okay, there is no need to be such a snob about language, but this is a class, so I have to help you guys land in the soup. Whenever you get a job interview or you talk to a sales vice president of another country, or you fight with a woman for a new clothes in Bershka in Madrid, or well, no, in the United Kingdom, or anything, I have to give you the resources. If you want to continue using AIGA, I want it to be because you want it, not because you don't know the difference, right? I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much. See you next class. I will send you the videos and the book. Never change. You're worth 1,000.